And live. Hey, look at you ran in the door just in time.
I was quick. Man, we already got 9 people on Facebook.
Vinny done got a crowd being drawn tonight. And they don't even know who's going to be on here yet. But I've been saying all night who's going to be on there. So, of course, we always sit here a minute or two and
let people join.
Let the numbers join. See if we can get a few on YouTube tonight. We've been getting a couple,
had a couple last week.
We're gonna learn to get a few on that YouTube. So anybody jumping on here, share this thing out there. We are going to be live for After the Bite tonight, and it's a good one, folks. It was a good episode.
It was a fun trip that we took.
It was a good trip. Arkansas.
Yep.
Greer's
Great
Ferry
hospitality.
Lake. Oh, I'm gonna tell you what. We ate good. We had fun.
We slept good.
We slept good. We did.
Yeah.
We had enough beds for about 8 or 10 more people between the couple places.
Crew. We could have had 3 more camera crews with us.
No, we could have brought a pack, but it was a good time for sure. So, well, folks, we appreciate everybody jumping on here. This is After the Bite. Tell your friends. Tell everybody you know. Come on, jump on here tonight.
Join the fun.
We're always giving away some goodies. We'll be doing some Jinko tackle and a hat, and I'm sure some goodies from them.
Giving a few tips.
Yeah, we'll probably I didn't bring an 811 hat in here, but I'll probably do a little hat, t-shirt giveaway tonight as well.
A good idea.
Should have grabbed one, but
yeah.
I didn't do it. We don't have to show them. We'll send them a surprise.
Yeah.
We'll make it a surprise that way. I got all kinds of good looking. Look at there, Dan Perdue says, that's a good buzzbait show. Hey, don't spoil the tip of the week, Dan. Hold on now. They done figuring out what our tip of the week's going to be.
Dan's always on here.
He is. So Dan up in Indiana, he's got an episode. Let's see, where is it? Oh, his aired. That's right.
Yeah, his was the Veterans.
That's right. Veterans one already aired. I can't keep track of them. You know, I got thinking about this, Trenton, and remember, folks, share this out because we're going to be starting After the Bite live here in just a minute and start telling you. But I was, thinking about the other day that, doing 12, 13 episodes every year. It's been 5 years. I've done about 60 something episodes now. I'm like, oh my, I might be starting to figure out what I'm doing after 60 something of these shows.
It's been fun though, hasn't it?
Oh, it's ball. It's ball, kid. It's ball. I mean, filming with all these folks and all the great folks jumping on here. Corey Weaver, Earl Fisher, Mike Tetrick. You guys are always regulars. Good show tonight. I smiled through most of it, but definitely going to have to try washing Vienna sausages in the lake. Well, folks, I don't know that is a highly recommended thing, but let me explain. I have done that for years. I take the Viennas and I do rinse them off. I don't know why I do it. It's probably not the smartest thing in there, but it's a good laugh.
Strong.
And they did have to show that tonight on that episode. But, well, folks, once again, welcome to After the Bite. I'm Mark Stowe, Trenton Estridge over here. And I always say, I've got to basically watch this and grow up. Trenton was actually in Arkansas with us. We went down and Vinny Vickers was our guest on the show. And Vinny has spent 40 years, Trenton, protecting our pipelines across the country. So when you look at, the infrastructure that's in the ground, companies like CenterPoint, Vinny now works with Summit, I think it's Summit Energy. I might have the butt into that wrong, but I know it's Summit. you know, and then of course we did the show for Center Point. But when you think about all that infrastructure that's in the ground, and you folks always hear me talking about damage prevention, safe digging, and 811, but Vinny has spent his 40-year career, 40 years, Trenton. I'm 48.
Time. That's a long time. You were 8 years old when he started.
Yeah, and he has spent his career, you know, protecting and trying to educate folks and being smart on the safe digging side, but they also, you know, there's a lot more, I'm sure, to their jobs, and I can't speak for them on the technical side of things, but Vinny has spent his career, you know, protecting those underground facilities and in particular pipelines.
That's awesome.
And what a joy for me to, and you were there. I mean, you were there filming, and what a joy it was to get to go to Arkansas. Of course, you know, Center Point, along with all of our safe digging partners, from our one calls, all the different people we work with to make the direction happen, you know, to go and say, you know, somewhat of a thanks to a guy who spent 40 years doing that is a joy, because I've spent 20 plus years at it now, and this guy's forgotten more than I'll ever know. You know, just like some of the guests that we have that on the fishing side that get on there and they've forgotten more about fishing than I'll ever know.
Yep.
And Vinny on the utility side and on the gas side has forgotten more than I'll ever know. But what a joy it is to see somebody after 40 years, Trenton, still excited about their job and their career.
It shows that you love it.
Yeah, I mean, that right there, folks, was, you know, just a treat in itself. Of course, there's a number of folks on here, Mark Criswell, Matt Hill. Those folks have all been a part of working for Center Point, and, you know, for even other gas companies throughout their careers. But they all understand that importance, and to get to put Vinny in the boat next to me and take him out there for a day on the water, and really a few days, I think. How many days did we film?
Filmed 2 days, and then you and Vinny went out and filmed the YouTube.
That's right. So we did another video the third day. Now, did we film anything for an extra video? No, okay. But we did the Getting Real with Vinny. But we got to basically go out for 2 days, and then Vinny and me went out another day and just shot some fun stuff. And the guy is, as I said in the show, is all about the hospitality. From the minute before we left, he was already talking with us, but the minute we got there, folks, it was like being at home. I mean, I promise you, you don't think a thing of going in there, refrigerator, grabbing food. I mean, everything, there was food and snacks, everything. I mean, there's not one uncomfortable moment about hanging out with Vinny.
Nope.
I mean, the neighbors inviting us over, Royce Brown cooking us a big old dinner and meal, and the viewers, you only got to see a little clip of that. Mark Criswell and them bringing the pontoon down the lake to bring us lunch.
But did you see what got off that pontoon?
Huh?
Did you see what got off
We're
that
going to
pontoon?
leave that for Vinny to talk about in a few minutes, but yeah, that was now that was an odd moment for the show. But on a fun note, you're talking about Vince and coming down the bank with the unicorn on. So he had a unicorn float, and then these guys and folks were just we had a blast, you know. But on the side of having fun and the fishing side, you know, Vinny also still shares that safe digging message, you know, that message, and I call it the safe digging message, but I'm going to say he shares that message of, you know, gas safety, pipeline safety, understanding all of, you know, there's so much there that, you know, that people need to know and be educated about, and he's, you know, and he does that, and he brings that to the, you know, to the show and to the, you know, to the outdoor viewer, and then, and then we get out there and, of course, had the fun of catching fish. So, you know, there's always, I always like to say we accomplish two things when we're out there: having fun, catching fish.
Sharing stories.
Well, insurance stores, you can bundle all that up. And then we always want folks to realize that message and being safe about all our underground utilities, whether it's, phone lines, gas, water, electric, any of them, and so we accomplished that goal hopefully in these shows. James Crute's jumping on here. James is probably down there in Florida where it's warm, catching saltwater fish.
James actually won him a tournament a couple days ago over on Istapoga.
Whoa, James, you didn't send me a text on that, buddy. So he won a tournament over to Istapoga?
Yep.
What kind of weight or anything?
I can't remember.
Come on, James, cough it up. Hey, James, we want people guessing how many pounds did James have in his tournament? And he'll tell us. Don't post it, James. Don't post it. That'll be our trivia question the week.
There you go.
So everybody start guessing how many pounds did James have in his tournament. We'll text him. You text him and find out what the weight is. And we're going to use that for our trivia question for our Jinko giveaway. After the Bite is always brought to you by Jinko Fishing. And you know what? We got the Jinko cam where we talk over here. I'm always talking about that. And folks, this week right here, Vinny Vickers is going to be tell y'all all about throwing one of these. These little baits like this are dandies. But we're going to get talking about that in a few minutes with Vinny Vickers. Vinny's going to be jumping on here. And it was James Crute said it was cold front fishing. And you're going to get the weight from him, right? You text him. All right, so James, you're our trivia question. What did James, folks, y'all guess? What was James's weight that he won his tournament with at Istapoga? Istapoga's a lake in Florida. And he said it was cold front conditions. And
I got it. Ooh, I got it.
You got it?
I got it.
Okay. You know what it is?
I do.
Can you slide it over here where I can see? I just can't wait to know. Don't get in there at the screen. Okay. All right. So
we got it.
You all have to guess what the weight is, and somebody's going to be getting some awful good goodies because Jinko sends out a prize package every week to folks, and then I usually throw some other stuff out and send it to somebody else as well. So y'all keep guessing right there. I want to see how many comments we can get, and we just, I think Vinny just popped off that screen down there. Make sure we got him. And here in a minute, folks, we're going to be bringing Vinny Vickers on to talk a little bit about fishing in Arkansas on Greer's Ferry Lake. What a pretty place.
It was beautiful. It reminded me a lot of home. It actually did.
It does. It reminded me of, like Barron, or really kind of Rough River.
Yep.
When you kind of look at it, the way that lake was, it had adjust my mic. Chris was over there giving me back audience. What am I doing? Making it screech?
Pop a little bit.
All right, is that better?
It just happens sometimes.
All right.
Hey, guess what?
Hey, my boss over there tells me what to do.
I got some sweet tea today.
Hey,
I didn't get none in Michigan.
I got my bottle of water. No, we didn't. Oh, we got to talk a little about ice cream. We'll do that after we talk to Vinny.
We did that last week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. We don't talk about ice fishing. Man, my weeks are running together.
Look, James said a few of my fish were caught with the Jinko square bill.
How about that? Was it the ones that we sent down to you, James? Because I think we sent him a package. We picked him because he didn't have any Jinko, and we sent it to him. Well, folks, 40 years of service. That's an accomplishment. I don't know that many people make it to 40 years of marriage. Not many people make it 40 years at a career, and that's an accomplishment. And, kind of on that note, I think what we our 811 tip of the week, we're going to be talking buzz baits, rods. Denali's got the new rods, and they're right behind me, folks. I got the new Android, and I got the new Lithium Pro Series. So we're going to talk a little bit about buzz baits, what we throw them on. That's what we caught them on this week, but that's going to be after we have Vinny on.
Yep.
But I think we ought to get Vinny on. We'll put on our headsets and talk to Vinny. We want to see
I
whether...
got to talk to him in a little while.
So, we're going to gab with him now. Yep. So, all right, folks. Well, we're going to bring on none other than Mr. Vinny Vickers. And Vinny, I just want to start by saying Vinny's had to walk outside at home to get a good signal. He was in the house and all set up, but he wanted to get a good signal because we want to be able to hear Vinny. And Vinny, one, I just want to say thank you for your hospitality. I mean, in that episode, I talked about it all the way through. You know, I travel a lot and get to do a lot of fun things, but my friend, you didn't make somebody feel welcome. You make them feel like I've known you 40 years and that I was your family member. And I can't say say enough thank you for that, because that was just, if people didn't get the sense of it, it was probably one of the greatest trips of people and fun that I've had. Y'all were just so inviting, and Royce Brown, him cooking us that big old meal, people piling in his house. I mean, that's something else.
Hey, Mark, it was fantastic for us, too. Now, let me tell you, you and Trenton and Chris, y'all are pretty easy to please. We had a lot of fun all together, and, man.
Uh-oh, I think his signal's getting... All right, hold on. We're trying. Vinny's might have a little weak signal.
And he's gone.
See, yep, it froze up.
Yep.
All right. Anything on your end you can do, or is it on his signal down there? Oh boy, we get our signal fixed.
Oh man.
Always,
It's always fun.
Hey, technology is always fun.
Oh.
Well, all right, I got you now.
Okay. Yeah, we, I'm not sure. We got pretty clear skies. We ought to have some pretty good signal. I've stepped outside, but Mark, it was fantastic what we did for the week. I'm telling you, I think I said it in the video. Probably the highlight of my career was spending a week or, 3 or 4 days with y'all, your crew. I'm very proud of Arkansas, very proud of what we've done for 40 years. And I tell you, that was the way y'all put the video together and summed it up. We always wish we had caught bigger fish, but the hospitality, everybody being together, y'all made that trip. Everybody we were around was still talking about, the opportunity to be around you and your film crew and Trenton and Chris. It was just great. It was really great, and I love what we've done here. Definitely delivered a good, solid message of having fun. Lots of us are excavators, utility workers, and, it has been about safety. I think my whole career has been, basically around working safe or public safety, employee safety, and it's been very meaningful. It's kind of that servant leadership. And, right now I feel like I can get a few more years in before I come join you as a retiree.
All right, well, you're welcome around me anytime, because I'm going to tell you the fun we had is, you can talk about the fishing. The fish catching's fun, but we said it in the video, Vinny, there at the end, and, me and you shot another day, just kind of where we went out and just spent the day on the water together that third day, and, man, those friendships, I mean, spending a few days out there, it's like you get to know each other, and I say it all the time, and man, it was just, it was pouring down rain, and we're still out there fist bumping and laughing.
You bet. You bet. In the distractions, just getting away, getting out on the water, those distractions weren't in and out every few minutes, so we did have that really quality time together, and man, I appreciate the tips you gave me. I feel like I can definitely fish better on Greer's Ferry and throwing a buzzbait in the fall of the year, Mark. I think I mentioned it a few times to you. I definitely threw buzzbaits, but it was always in the spring after it got up to, 75, 80 degrees and higher. and, you know, had caught fish, but never in the fall. You taught me something there. Those fish would come after it in shallow water in the, you know, late October is when we were fishing.
Yeah. Oh, and they do. They're up there in nothing water. You can't, you know, you're not fishing water that's yay deep. I mean, when you get into them, you know, little flat areas and that, them fish are up there. And when they're up there, ain't nothing like reeling a buzzbait over top of their head and waiting for them to go boom.
I promise you, we're gonna hit it some more this fall or this spring. You know, we're wrapping up duck season right now, so we've had a pretty good year. But you know, it's time for us to get back in the water and do some serious fishing.
So how's the duck hunting been down there?
Good year. I mean, it ended real strong. It finally got cold enough up north. Hate y'all got snow, but it was enough to cover up food and push those ducks south. So I think I hunted 4 days to the end of the season there, 5, and we limited every day. Early in the year, we kind of had to, you know, hunt around a little bit and pick up a few here and there, but it's like fishing. It's about being together. You know, it really wasn't a matter of, we all like to limit out. We all like to catch our limits. But, hey, when you can get out and spend time with your friends, come home safe, man, it's a good day. And we had a bunch of them this winter.
Well, I can't imagine what your duck hunting crew's like, because if it's anything like your fishing crew you put together, goodness, y'all probably way and just enjoying life way too much together. So,
well, Mr. Hinkson, Eddie Hinkson, has extended an invitation for y'all to come down and do a little duck hunt maybe next year, or, you know, if year after, whenever you can fit it in. But we need to show you. Times, I think it gets even better. A little more time. So let's kind of plan something for later on. Love to have you.
Well, now that might be fun. I'm not a giant waterfowl guy. I've been a couple times with a buddy of mine, Brett, years ago, and but I, of course, like to hunt or fish anything. If it's outdoors and it's got people involved, I'm like you. I love the people. You know, I can get out there and catch a few fish, but I can get excited. I mean, you know, just getting out there and learning about something or trying it, or, you know, it's
Never done it.
You've never waterfowl hunted. That's and
just consider we'll just invite you out to breakfast, and hey, if some ducks come in, we'll shoot them when they fly by. How about that?
You talking about your food? I'm in. I'm on my way right now. Go get in that pickup.
We can do it.
Walmart.
That's it. I'll stop and grab me some clothes at Walmart, and I'll be on my way.
And Mark, you can bring some Vienna sausages with you, but I don't know that you'll want to dip them down in those rice fields and eat them afterwards.
I don't
you may have to eat them straight out of the can.
He ain't like the rest of us.
I know, Trenton, but he's a good one.
I don't know that was the greatest thing they had to put on TV, but it's kind of like anybody's mess ups. You know, if you mess up, we're going to show it, and somehow they had to put the Vienna sausage story on there, because all joking aside, everybody knows that I really do that everywhere we go. I have no idea what intrigues me to think that that's impressive to do, but
the first time you did it, I didn't know what to think. I looked at you like you were crazy, which I think all of them probably did too.
No, it's a good.
Well, he broke up a minute. Well, I always like to say them dipping in Viennas in there give me good immunity.
Yeah.
It creates a good immune system, but I don't know that that's highly recommended to be telling kids or families or folks to do. So don't be doing that. Hopefully Vinny's signal's going to pop back on here in just a second. He is kind of garbled out there, but we'll see what happens. But I like Tracy Bryant's comment a few minutes ago. She said he's out in the wilderness of Arkansas. Yeah. So, folks, you need to keep guessing what was James Kreutz's weight, because Jinko gives us a great prize package, and I'm going to be sending I'm going to send an 811 hat and T-shirt to somebody. So y'all guess that weight of James's winning weight for the tournament.
In Florida.
What I'm going to tell you is, and we'll give him one hint, it is under 20 pounds. and it's over 5 pounds.
Yeah,
And we're
somewhere in
gonna
that range.
get somebody to guess in that range. Somebody's gonna win some goodies. So
Closest
y'all
weight
keep,
wins.
Closest weight to it wins. But you know, Vinny, did you signal back there? All right.
But it's going in and out. We got to wrap up. Yeah.
Now, well, you know, I got to go over one great moment during the show because I have to say, you know, one, they were delivering us food by pontoon out on the lake. So not only did you have folks cooking, but the pontoon brought food out. But the greatest moment for me is, and probably the most awkward moment that I've had to somewhat host a show through, so to speak, is I'm trying to seriously fish, and we look up, and Vince is coming down the bank with a unicorn float on. And we're like, I don't know whether to really acknowledge it, avoid it, or wait a minute, is that really one of them that's with us? And I really
That's what
don't.
I thought. I didn't think it was anybody with us.
I really thought that maybe this was just how Arkansas folks were for a minute.
That's what I thought too.
But the real of it is that we find out, thank goodness, and correct me if I'm wrong, Vince is not Arkansas blood, folks, right?
No, he's not. He's from Minnesota.
Yeah, so it's the Minnesota folks that aren't all up there, so we're okay to talk about it. But
Well, I don't know. It's pretty cold up there, so whatever it takes. If you got to wear a uniform to stay warm in the winter, wear it, you know.
those brain freezes must have been what his problem was because.
I think that may be it. And then I was very surprised that you let him on the boat with it. I was pretty sure you were going to jump in there, fire it up. We were going to be out of there. But man, your hospitality, you let him get on the boat with it, and we were really stuck with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, what do I say about the guy? But I do have to say that was one of the best laughs because we look up and I'm like, okay, am I going to acknowledge this? Should we even turn the cameras over there? I'm just not real sure, but I have to say it made for a great laugh. And for me, I had to make that 811 moment and safe digging moment because it was just like, why, what, where? I'm like, you know,
It was a highlight of the week. I promise you, that was one of the moments that we'll definitely remember. And I have to say, it's not the craziest thing I've ever seen him do, but it was right there at the top. I promise.
It made, you know, once again, that's some fun laughs, Vinny. That's all those moments, you know, that you just look back on and laugh about and, you know, and just say, man, here we are out there filming a show and where he come up, you know, he comes walking down the bank because he finds a float, and it's like, oh my goodness, how could you find a unicorn float in the month of October and it's cold out and
You couldn't make it up, I promise.
No,
You can make it. There's no way you could stage it. And I forgot about the other things he started pulling out of his pockets, old reels and lures. He's been on a treasure hunt. He was on his own little treasure hunt.
Well, he was definitely his own world down there. That Minnesota, I don't know what to say about them Minnesota folks.
I can't believe Mark let him on his pontoon.
Yeah. Hey, he was hanging out with Mark the whole time. And that's Mark Criswell. Mark works for Summit as well, Center Point at the time. And, you know, Mark and you, I get the pleasure of working with you guys on a lot of things and always talking, you know, all the business stuff. But that was funny. It's Victor and not Vince, by the way.
Yeah.
And and Mark Criswell just commented, Victor and the Unicorn Float is a classic, and I'm 100% with you right there, Mark. But, you know, we've had a lot of laughs, Vinny, not only like at the Louisiana Balloon Festival when we did the Red River Balloon Festival, and I appreciate your friendship and appreciate your hospitality of having us there, and one, it was a privilege to get to, you know, acknowledge your 40 years of service. for, pipeline, protecting our pipelines and pipeline safety and just the common good that you do for folks in your job. And
Mark, I definitely appreciate it, and man, I look forward to the next time I can get around y'all and spend a little time with you. So, you do a great job of what you're doing, and thanks for getting our message of 811 out there. We appreciate it.
Well, I totally appreciate it, and we're going to start talking here in a minute, Vinny, about those buzz baits we're throwing. I'm going to do a little tip of the week. We're going to kind of wrap up with you, and once again, just thank you, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you. We'll be probably, I guess, I might see you. Will I see you in Anaheim?
Yes, sir.
All
yes,
right.
sir.
Well, I will see you in Anaheim in a couple months, and
you bet.
So I'll be looking forward to that, and then I've wrote down guaranteed limit of ducks on my on my agenda here.
They may be pen raised, but we're going to get you a limit, sir. I promise.
Hey, my belly will be limited full. I guarantee you that with you.
Oh, I promise.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you'll get your limit of food. It'll be and fun. We'll fill you up with food and fun. Hopefully, we'll shoot a few ducks.
All righty, sir. Well, I appreciate you, and I'll be talking to you.
Thank you, Vinny.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Trent.
See ya.
Thanks. See y'all.
Well, Trenton, right there, just that interview, that just, you can see it in Benny when you just talk to him.
Oh, he loves talking about his job.
And he loves life.
Yep.
I mean, we did a Getting Real interview with him, which is going to be a great one, folks. When that'll be out Thursday on our YouTube channel. And so for all you folks out there, watch that, because Vinny's one of them guys that are, and just, it's so nice to see somebody go to work, and it's not work, but go do a job and care and just.
Who enjoys it on top of it?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
it's like doing this.
Yep.
And it's a joy, but he, what a trip. And, during that show, folks, and during that trip, we caught a few fish on lipless crankbaits the first couple days. And the third day, day 2.
Yep.
Day 2, we knew we were going to get some rain and some storms coming in. Mm-hmm. And we grabbed the rain gear. Christopher got the covers on the cameras and had us ready for rain. And one thing about rain and cold rain, if you go home, you're not going to catch fish.
No.
I
promise
you've
you.
been going down to Cumberland on some nasty days here, here the last little bit. But folks, them fish will bite. And that day, it got up in the day there just a little bit, and I grabbed one of my favorite things to do in the fall. And I know this is on one of your favorite things to do in the fall. Sometimes I hate, you always say you got a little extra juice in your pocket, and the juice in the pocket sometimes for me is that little old black buzzbait. I love to show everybody my white buzzbaits. Jinko Cam, folks, there it is, right there every week. And we're on the 811 tackle tip of the week.
That's actually a Jinko buzzbait.
This is a Jinko buzzbait. Great buzzbait, a little bit bigger profile, 3/8 ounce buzzbait. This is a little smaller profile buzzbait. This is the actual buzzbait I was throwing down there. I like to throw different buzzbaits.
Now, that's a 1/4 ounce buzzbait, isn't it?
I believe that is. I can't tell you. I just know which one I buy.
Yep.
But that little buzzbait right here was on the show that day, was a little black. It was accent buzzbait, and Jinko, don't get mad at me. We're on the Jinko Cam. They don't ever get mad at me. But this little buzzbait is a little fish catcher. Don't ever just have one type of buzzbait in your boat, because there's days that they want that bigger buzzbait. They want it making more noise. This buzzbait might not necessarily catch them. So always have a selection of sizes and colors of buzzbaits. And for me, it's black or white.
Yep.
Them's the only 2 buzzbaits I carry. But that day I was throwing this little buzzbait, an accent buzzbait right here. I throw it with a gold blade on it. I like the black. It just, they seem to just come up and they suck it in. But there's some things besides a buzzbait, and the thing, and Vinny talked about, you know, showing, you know, he was talking about, you know, kind of the few little kind of tips that I said, that he kind of mentioned that I said to him when we were out there on the water. And, you know, one of the things with a buzzbait is not reeling it too fast.
No, just keeping it above the surface.
And there's days you need to burn.
Yes, there is. There is.
But there's a lot of days, folks, that I just reel that buzzbait and just creeping it across the top of that water, trying to make it churn a little bit of water. And it is, you'll catch more fish on it. And then the other thing is when it hits the water, getting that bait up.
Yep.
You know, get that rod tip, fill up, get that bait traveling as soon as it is. Because if you watch the, you know, as soon as it hits the water, get it up.
Yep.
Because you watch.
If not, that bait's gonna fall.
Yep. And if it's under the water,
It ain't doing its purpose.
it's not doing its purpose. You might as well throw a spinnerbait.
Yep.
But when the other thing with this bait is, and the reason you got to get it up quick and get it moving is, if you watch that show, we were literally up against the bank, and literally every time we got to a mud flat where the turn would start to go and that mud flat starts to open up, they were up there on that flat and they were literally in water that's not a foot deep. I mean,
Hey, that's what makes it fun.
oh, yeah, there ain't no doubt. That shallow water, it does. And so throwing this bait is about making
Precise cast.
good casts, making big numbers of casts. I like to make long casts. If I can get a bait, if I can get that bait the farther out in front of the boat. Now, the problem with the long cast is setting the hook.
Yep.
So I do throw my buzz bait on fluorocarbon line. I don't throw it on mono as much.
I throw mine on
because-
mono to keep it up.
So for me, when you say that, baits like my spook or my bait or any bait like a papa or anything, I don't like that fluorocarbon. But on the buzz bait, I don't mind the fluorocarbon because I'm reeling it no matter what. It's moving all the time. So that line's not laying on that water, you know, like it does with the mono or like with a spook or anything like that. But any of them baits, definitely. Sometimes it's great to throw buzz bait on braided line,
Yeah.
but you can't set the hook. You
No.
just really got to just let them hook up.
I actually, I started throwing my buzzbait on 17-pound line.
Right.
There's
no need to throw light line.
No.
You're
I
not.
used to throw it on 14-pound, but I started having problems with breaking fish off,
Yep.
especially around brush. So I switched line sizes and I
Ain't no
solved my
more
problem.
fun than coming up to the stick and.
Yeah.
And but if you watch that show, it was pretty cool. You could see some of the blow-ups on the GoPro footages. If you watched when we would set the hook, you'd see out in front of the boat. If anybody goes back and watches, you'll see them fish blowing up out there, and that's just the best feeling. But you know, talking a little bit about the buzz bait, we talked about the line size, and then we're going to talk a little bit about rods for a minute because I'm so excited about Denali. I got all my rods this week, and I was like a little kid. Of course, I called you the minute though too. I seen on our doorbell thing, whatever them doorbells is, I seen the package, and I called you and said, "Oh, I seen my rods are here." But you know, one thing I'm going to talk about a buzz bait. There's certain days, folks, that the fish bite it, and they miss it, and they miss it. If you see that happen 2 or 3 times, don't
put it down.
don't quit throwing it, but don't keep throwing it. Grab you a stinger hook, because I throw it probably, I'm gonna say 80% of the time without a stinger hook because I'm throwing it around trashing that. But like where we were throwing that with Vinny in that open water and around the flats and that there wasn't a ton of heavy wood.
No.
You could throw it with a stinger hook. So the thing you can do there is look, here's that hook. This is nothing new. Most fishermen know this, but here's the thing. So here's a stinger hook. They come, Mustad sends this little package over to you right here. This is a Mustad 3/0 stinger hook. Gamakatsu makes them, anybody. I don't have any, whatever hook you like. I don't, whatever brand, Trocar, whatever. I don't even know if they make a stinger hook, but anyway. But what I do with my stinger hook is a lot of people use that little they'll have a little piece of rubber or something like that and put it over that hook. But what I do is I bite off or I pinch off a piece of plastic worm. Don't matter what kind of worm, anything. Pinch you off a little piece of it like this, just a little chunk. Take that stinger hook, stick that stinger hook, the eye of it, right in the middle of that little piece of that worm. You ever do that?
Nope, you're teaching me something.
Hey, then you take that stinger hook and you put it down through the stinger hook, and now your stinger hook is on there straight. But everybody's always worried about having a little piece of rubber tubing or something like that with them. All you need is a little piece of a worm. You don't have to buy nothing. You don't need anything extra in your boat. All of us have tackle, worms in our boat. I don't care if it's a piece of a pork or one of your little flipping chunks, if it's a piece of a, what you call them, one little bait.
Net rigs?
No, yeah, you could use a piece of TRD, you could use anything, but grab any piece of just plastic worm and put it on there, and there you go.
Never knew that.
Pretty dummy way of doing it.
Huh. My buzzbaits, I actually like to throw a little trailer on the back, trick worm, black trick worm with this.
That's right, you said
buzzbait.
that one day.
Yep.
No, I haven't done that.
I think it gives the buzzbait a bit more weight. Throwing the smaller one, it lets you cast it better. And I've caught a lot of fish on it doing both ways.
Well,
Stinger
give it a little
hook
more
and-
action back here, because that little worm's back
Yep.
there. So, do you see them, do you have days that they miss that bait though?
Yeah, and most of the time when they do, I'll switch colors.
Switch color?
I think they're seeing too much of the bait.
Okay. Well, sometime you add your little stinger hook on there, and that's our little 811 tackle tip of the week for the buzzbait itself. Now, we're going to talk about rods for a minute. So I always kind of, plug Denali, because that's the rods I'm familiar with and what I get to use. And they have a rod that, of course, I love. The feeling, let's read a couple things here.
James Croots.
What do he say?
That feeling when your tackle or rod show up, no words to describe the feeling.
Amen to that, James. I've got like a little kid
It's
in the
better than
candy
Christmas
store.
morning.
Yep. Trent will be like a little kid. He gonna pick up a few extra rods out of my boat and just take them home and keep using them.
Yep.
So we're gonna shoot some more videos
I'm
with
gonna put them to use quickly.
But if you, Jane or Greg Collard's guessed 12-12, you guys keep on guessing them weights. But I'm gonna move over here for a second. I'm gonna bring a couple rods over. Actually, I'm gonna bring a whole wad of them
you might
over.
as
I'm
well.
like a little kid, folks. Look at here. These brand new Denali's. Well, Trenton, number one, we got to see these androids at ICAST last year, if you remember.
Yep.
Me and you walked up there. Folks, I picked it up without a reel on it, but the other day these showed up, and oh my goodness, these new androids. I put my reel on it and I handed it to Trenton the other day. And I mean, Trenton, they've done a job with that
Oh
rod.
man, dude, it is.
And
probably
it's
one-
cool looking on
Yeah,
top
it
of it.
is.
I
It's
feel
sharp.
I feel like I'm on Star Wars and got my lifesaver.
Here we go again.
Christopher's
wrong
over there
reel.
shaking his head going, Dad, you ain't right. But the new Android series, but what I'm gonna jump to though and tell you about the rod for the buzzbait is, folks, if you had a lithium rod in the past, they're amazing. Our Lithium Series rod, I think Trenton, correct me if I'm wrong, but you tell me that that's probably your favorite flipping rod, right?
Yes, it is. That and the Fission they came out with for a short time.
Okay. Well, of course, you got to see these at ICAST as well. Trenton, what
Is that
they
the new
did with,
Lithium Pros?
dude, they just took an absolutely perfect rod and made it even better. I mean, you've had it in your hand already and seen it, but I mean, they have done a job. So their spinnerbait rod, I love anyway. They build one in a covert, which is a 6, so let's see, the covert one is a 6'9", I believe. Yeah, 6'9",
6'9".
medium heavy. That is a 6'10" in the Lithium Pro Series. And of course, they've always made it in the lithium rod, but now that Lithium Pro, oh my goodness, that rod feels even lighter. you know, they get into fancy terminology and all the things they do in them rods, and of course, you know, they probably laugh at me because I ain't good at selling it on the technicalities. But
well, let's go over all the new names you've made for all their rods.
I did rename the rods. I rename everybody on the shows and everything. But that Lithium Pro Series, Trenton, that thing is sweet. I love the guides on it. I love the, you know, the reel seat. I like the new look they took. You know, they had been silver and black, and that new just all black rod, man, you can't tell me that thing is not sweet.
Oh, it is. And it is amazing looking.
And then same thing with them androids. I like it when Trenton says it. He says it's amazing looking. But you know,
it's wicked.
So yeah, there we go. Now we fist bump like me and Vinny right there. When we were on the show, we were fist bumping the whole show. But folks, those new lithium rods, new Pro Series are out there. That 610 spinnerbait rod, I love it. It's a great buzzbait rod. I basically throw my buzzbait on the same rods I throw my spinnerbait on.
I do the same thing.
Of if I throw like a 1 ounce spinnerbait or something, then it'll go on a big, you know, like a 7.4 heavy rod, medium heavy rod or something. But I'm gonna move these out of the way. I'm gonna
go ahead. Don't want you to break your new baby.
But I guess I need to hold that rod up there and show them this new Lithium Pro Series. And I was throwing the Lithium, I think, on the show. If not, I was throwing the Covert. But this is the new Lithium Pro Series. The one I have on the show is the Lithium, which it's got, you know, silver and black down here, a little bit different. You know, it's a little bit. They've changed the rod, made it lighter, done all the things that they've done. You can read about that on their website, but that's the rod and the model number that I love right there. I love this 610 spinnerbait rod, and then I'm going to show you the Covert because you can never go wrong with the Coverts. Folks, I love these Covert rods, and there's the spinnerbait rod and the Covert. There's just 1 inch different, or 1 inch difference in the length of the rod, but both of those rods are perfect buzzbait rods. And make sure them will be right in your face.
You're gonna cut me off.
Yep, I'm gonna cut you off and cut you in half. And then I will give you the sneak peek of the beautiful Android rod. Look at this beautiful thing. It's like a droid on Star Wars, right there.
Look, it's so pretty looking that it won't even show up on the camera.
Yep, so there you go, Christopher, you can turn that on, ready? See, it's like my lifesaver. Trenton's always said, probably my favorite thing you ever said to me, kid. He always said, Mark, you're just the biggest kid of all.
Biggest kid I know.
Oh, well, there's one thing about a kid, I'm going to enjoy myself no matter what.
Hey, you got to enjoy it.
Yeah, and but that's kind of our 811 tackle tip of the week, and we anything else on the buzz baits or rods you think of?
No.
So you said you like throwing 17-pound mono, and I do throw mono on mine. I don't, and at times, you know, but I think with the buzz bait, the one thing is just, you know, you're gonna have to set the hook. You can't just pull on it. You do have to come on back with it. When you pull into them, you got to get that hook set because you're driving a big hook.
What gear ratio do you like to use for a reel throwing a buzz bait?
You know, I really don't care because I can see that bait and I'm going to adjust it. You know, I mean,
I'm
a
the same way.
6-1's fine with me. I can throw it on I used to throw it on my 5 1-to-1s when Shimano made those.
Green Corrado.
Yeah, and they were 5-1s. I've thrown them, so I don't really care. You know, I adjust my reel speed. I don't know that I really want to throw it on the, you know, like the 8.2s or none of them big ones, or 7.2s or 8.1s or whatever them high speeds are.
Yeah.
Because for me, I think I might be going a little too fast.
I agree with you.
So, but that's a good one. I hadn't thought about the real stuff. You know, just to thank somebody during that episode. You know old Jim Robinson.
Oh boy.
Son, I gotta tell you.
a turkey hunt.
Yeah, Jim, I gotta just throw a little extra love out there. You might not be on here, but hopefully somebody will tell you that I'm saying thank you. And, you know, there's a whole group of folks. I mean, Vinny's wife,
Mark's
Mark
wife.
Criswell, Mark's wife as well, all the people that were there. But Jim rode around in a boat for 3 days, drove a camera boat, kept you, run you all over the lake and everything.
He even took me out fishing.
And well, I'm positive he wouldn't even, I wouldn't even offer him because he'd probably get insulted, but he wouldn't even take a dime for doing it. You know, he wanted to be there. And Jim, I just want to tell you thank you because that does mean a lot, and I appreciate the friendship. And you know, you don't know me, you didn't even know us, and what a great guy.
He invited us over to his house for dinner every night. We ate in his pole building, and
That's right, played shuffleboard and all the fun stuff.
and all kinds of stuff.
He has a man cave now.
He does. He even taught me a few games in pool that I never knew about. So it was a good time being around him.
That's the fun, right there.
Yep.
So
It's the fun of all of it.
well, kind of coming down to, unfortunately, the wrapping up part of After the Bite.
Y'all keep dropping some comments of James is winning weight on Estapoga.
I better not tell it yet.
Nope.
We'll hold out. Vinny Vickers, Getting Real, folks, is going to be on YouTube
Thursday, right?
Folks, y'all just want to watch that one. You folks that know him definitely want to watch it because you'll appreciate it. What a joy it is to sit down and just talk with him. Catching fish with him was fun. Vinny fished hard, you know, and it was a little tough on him on the catching side. That bite's tough when it's like that. It's, you know, you're making a lot of casts, and of course, when you're fishing, you know, sometimes I'm in a little bit better situation in where I can cast in that because I'm running the trolling motor. There's a few of them get in the boat say, "Oh, you're trying to backdoor, so ain't gonna let us catch no fish."
Hey,
You know who that would be?
who?
That's Misty.
Oh,
Yep, we have to bring her up. She's always complaining about it. Her and Carl Carson, when them two get together, you know, they're always claiming I'm backboating them. And
is Vinny still using that old broken rod?
oh, so folks, I got to tell one other story on Vinny. I break the tip out of one of my rods. Of course, we stepped on it. Or what did, yeah.
Somebody got in the boat and hit it. Or
That's
something.
it. That's right. We was getting in and out of the boat and broke the tip out of it. Vinny said, "Give me that rod. We ain't getting rid of that." He's cut that rod down. He's got him an N3 series rod, and he's rolling on with it with with a little shortened tip.
It might have a little too stiff of a tip on there now.
Oh, but you know, just a great trip and a lot of fun, to be honest.
It was.
So watch Getting Real, and next week's episode, 7 p.m. Pursuit Channel. What is it? Oh
Terry
my, folks. So, Kentucky Lake is 3 hours down the road. Of course, most of you folks know I am from Kentucky. Trenton's home is Kentucky as well. We are going to be fishing with a guy, folks, that if you're in the tournament world and been there a long time, what an amazing angler. Mr. Terry Bolton. Terry is actually part of the Jinko fishing team. He runs Jinko fishing on the side of his boat. And, but aside of that, I have watched Terry when I would compete at a local level, you know, at Renegades and that, Terry and them would come in, and these guys, well, they kind of
Take your lunch money.
They take more than the lunch money. They take all the prize money. But Terry's won a considerable amount of money. But folks, he's humble about it. You know, you don't know it talking to him because he just walks around talking to everybody. You walk in somewhere, you walk into tackle stores, and when you walk in there, there's a whole big giant poster of Terry Bolton right there at the door. It's like, man, I'm walking in the door, got Terry Bolton next to me. But you know, but in his hometown down there, folks, Terry is a great individual, lives right on Kentucky Lake. We spent a few days, and that's next week's episode.
We keep talking about this Pursues 110 jerkbait. You're going to get to see it in action next week.
That is right. In the cold.
Yep.
On Kentucky Lake. And we did not shoot this show, but what? When
Back
was
in
it?
December, wasn't it?
Was it December? Yeah.
I want to say it was a few weeks before Christmas.
Yep, right before Christmas. That's
Yeah.
right. Yep. And Folks, we caught him on that Pursuit 110, cold water on Kentucky Lake. You'll want to see this because Terry Bolton, when you're sitting in the boat with him, he just second-handedly just rattling off things about fishing. I mean,
He
it's
knows
like,
a bunch.
holy cow. Oh my goodness. You know, he just the things he talks about. And the other thing is, we even slid a little crappie fishing in there because I didn't know Terry liked crappie fishing. Folks, he taught us a technique that was pretty darn
I've
neat.
done that technique doing other things, but I've never done it on the structure that we were fishing. You'll have to watch it next week's episode to find out.
I agree with that. So we're going to keep that. But Terry Bolton next week. And so, all right. Well, I need to see who guessed it right. And while you're looking to see who the winner is,
I think I remember. I seen the weight actually pop up.
somebody guessed it right out the gate. And I don't remember who guessed it on
did
top of
too.
it. This is
I did
what's
too.
funny. This guy is our lunch boy. I didn't call him lunch boy, did I? He might come to Kentucky and straighten me up. Mark Criswell, you guessed 12-8. And
It was a few weeks before Christmas.
Well, I didn't mean to ruin the show.
you ain't ruining the show.
I was trying to look at comments.
12-8 was
12-8,
is that what James sent? Let's see your text. Now make sure the text is good and clean text now. You know, look here.
He even
Here he
brought the
is
picture.
with the winning weight right there. 12.87 right there. James Croops, that's what he won with. And Mark Criswell, you guessed that. So Mark Criswell, Jinko is going to be sending you a goodie package. And then we'll scroll down through here and find somebody new or somebody to send an 811 hat and t-shirt to. And,
Let's see here.
and for, hey, and then James goes on to share something else. I had to pause on that. He said, crazy part was this weekend we fished another tournament, had 19.9 pounds and finished fifth. So that's what happens
shows
when the
you.
fish are biting.
It shows you how different Florida can fish too.
Well, in all lakes,
Yeah.
it changes every day. But so on that note, we'll pick a winner for the 811 hat and that. And in kind of celebration of 40 years of Vinny's great service, we're going to remind folks to do one thing.
That is contact 811 before you dig.
That's right. Trenton said it best right there. But folks, thanks for watching. Join us next week, right here, 8 o'clock for our live. 7 o'clock on Pursuit Channel. That's Eastern Standard Time. Watch next week's episode. The great tournament angler, Terry Bolton.
Make sure y'all check out Getting Real too. It's going to be a good one.
On Thursday. I'm Mark Stowe, and this is After the Bite,
I'm Trenton Estridge.
and we're going to bed.
Yeah, I need it.